Now, I'm going to bet for either of you will come up with another clever idea to get a skill. Or worse, expelled. Friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm again back with another Harry Potter video. So as I said, I'm gonna upload all the book reviews of all the 7 Harry Potter books, and earlier I uploaded the book review of the first part, and today in this video I'm gonna give you the full facts and reviews of the second book of Harry Potter, that's the Chamber of Secrets. So without any further hesitation, let's proceed. So this is the second book of Harry Potter, the Chamber of Secrets, obviously written by J.K. Rowling. So in here, the Hogwarts second year adventure continues. So Harry is basically in second years this time. And this time there is a thing, Dobby, who is a house elf. So the name of the house elf is Dobby, visits Harry in his house and wants him to not return to Hogwarts because most terrible things are happening there. So he wants Harry not to return there, but Harry is reluctant to visit Hogwarts because he's obviously not enjoying living with the Dursleys. So what does Dobby do is, Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia are having a dinner party, so he ruins it, and then Uncle Vernon becomes furious with Harry because he thinks Harry has done it and locks him in his room and tells him that he will not allow him to return to Hogwarts. So Harry is very sad, but then Ron, who is the best friend of Harry, along with his twin brothers Fred and George Weasley, rescues Harry on a flying car, on his dad's flying car named Fort Angela. So they take Harry to their home, and after some days they visit Diagon Alley. So Diagon Alley is a shop lined with all wizarding shops of books, wands, dresses and all. So there they buy their new school supplies, and in a bookstore they meet Lucius Malfoy, who is Draco's father. So Draco is Harry's arch enemy, so his father Lucius Malfoy. So they meet with him there, and they also came across Gregory Lockhart, who is an autobiographer and adventurer, and also the new Defense Against the Dark Arts professor at Hogwarts. But he's a little boastful about himself, not little, very much boastful about himself actually. So anyway, so on September 1st, they head to King's Cross Station to take the Hogwarts Express, but Harry and Ron is not able to cross the barrier of platform 9 and 3/4 because Dobby had magically sealed it up. So then what they do is absolutely amusing. They fly to Hogwarts on Fort Angela, the flying car. They fly to Hogwarts, but then an accident happens. The car crashes into the Whimping Willow. So Whimping Willow is a magical tree on the grounds of Hogwarts, so the car crashes there. And because the car is magical, it becomes furious with Harry and Ron, and it leaves them and goes to the Forbidden Forest. So Harry and Ron is left, and Ron's wand is broken. So still he managed to tape it up, actually tape the Ron up. So after that, what happens? They resume the normal classes, but Harry hears voices, cold voices, very evil voices. But he's not able to make out that from where the voices is coming. He's feeling that they're coming from the walls, actually, walls of the castle. Then one day they see Miss Norris, a cat. So Mr. Flitch, if you have seen my previous video, I told you Mr. Flitch was the caretaker at Hogwarts. So he had a cat named Miss Norris. So she was found petrified. The cat was found petrified, and there was a message written on the wall. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. The enemies of the higher, be aware. So there's a rumor in school that actually Hogwarts was founded by 4 people: Godric Gryffindor, Helga Hufflepuff, Rowena Ravenclaw, and Salazar Slytherin. So according to their names, the houses are also there. So Salazar Slytherin had an argument with his fellow founders about admitting Muggle-born witches and wizards. So there are categories of witches and wizards now. So pure bloods are those whose ancestor families and all are witches or wizards. Half bloods are those whose half family are witches or wizards and half are not, half are muggles. And muggle borns are those whose none of the family are witches or wizards, but under some circumstances, they have been capable of doing something magical. So Hermione is one of the Muggle bonds. So Salazar Slytherin didn't wanted Muggle-born students to be admitted at Hogwarts. So he had an argument with his fellow founders, and then he builds a secret chamber inside the castle and leaves. So the rumor is that anyone who will be the hire of Salazar Slytherin will be able to open the chamber, and the chamber hides a very dangerous monster, and only he will be able to control it. This is the rumor going around the school. So after that, there are a lot of attacks on Muggle-born students. Many of them are found petrified. And on one Quidditch match, Harry is playing, of course, as a seeker of the Gryffindor team. So a bludger is a sort of ball in the game of Quidditch. So it furiously chases Harry and breaks his arm. Glittery Lockhart, who boosted about himself too much, tries to mend Harry's arm, but it makes his harm worse. So he's taken to the hospital wing, where Dobby again comes to visit Harry and says that, why did you came? I warned you. So he says that. Then he accidentally slips that the Chamber of Secrets had also been opened earlier, 50 years back, and then a student died. So he accidentally slips that out of his mouth. So when Harry's all right, they starts to again doing their normal day work, and after some days Harry thinks that he's not able to hear the voices anymore. But one day there's a dueling class. So dueling class is that students fight each other with the wand. So there's a dueling class happening. There Harry accidentally Harry didn't know that he had a special ability. He could speak the snake language known as Parseltongue. So he was a Parselmouth. Those who are able to speak Parseltongue, the language of snakes, are known as Parselmouth. So Harry was actually a Parselmouth. And the hire of Salazar Slytherin will also be a Parselmouth. This was the thing. So students think that Harry is actually the hire and he is behind these attacks. But Ron, Hermione and Harry, they think that Draco is behind these attacks because he is a pureblood and a Slytherin. So what they do, Hermione makes a Polyjuice potion. So Polyjuice potion is a potion. If you drink it, you will transform into the one which you want. So Crabbe and Goyle were the sidekicks of Draco. So Harry and Ron transform themselves into Crabbe and Goyle and spies on Draco. But they get to know that actually Draco is not the hire of Slytherin. So they are very disappointed because they thought Draco was that, but he is not. So then they return, they go to in the third floor, there's a bathroom, a girl's bathroom, which is actually out of order because a ghost haunts it. Ghost names that Moaning Martle, a girl who haunts that bathroom. She had actually died there. So the trio visits there, and Moaning Martle gives them a diary which was actually thrown at her by someone. So the name of the diary, there is written that it belongs to Tom Riddle, but the pages are blank. And the diary belonged 50 years back, so they think that there will be something written about the Chamber of Secrets, but there isn't. It's just blank. So Harry tries to figure it out, how that it must be something magical to read about in the diary. So he finds it out, and then he thinks that Hagrid was the one. The diary, after reading the diary, Harry thinks that Hagrid was the one 50 years back who opened the Chamber of Secrets. So because of this, Hagrid is sent to Azkaban. So Azkaban is the wizard's prison and the worst place of all. Actually, Azkaban is more detailedly given in the next book, which is this one, but I have not yet completed it. So anyway, so Hagrid is taken to Azkaban, and Dumbledore is not the headmaster anymore because of these attacks. He's not able to be the headmaster anymore. So the Minister of Magic actually said that you can't be. So, and now what happens? Harry and Ron are given a clue by Hagrid to follow the spiders. So they follow the spiders and they into the forbidden forest actually, and there they meet a giant spider named Aragog, who was actually made a pet by Hagrid, and he was huge, enormous. So they meet there, and for a few minutes, like, the spider talks to them for a few minutes only and tells him that he is not the monster of the Chamber of Secrets, and Hagrid is not the one who had opened it 50 years back. But after that, the spider tries to attack them, but the flying car Fort Angela suddenly bursts out of nowhere and rescues them. So when they reach back to Hogwarts, they are terrified to know that Hermione is petrified. So Professor Minerva McGonagall tells them that Hermione is petrified. And they also get to know that the monster is actually a basilisk. So you can see this is a basilisk. It's a type of a snake. But a basilisk is a special type of a snake. So if the basilisk gazes or stares at its victim directly eye to eye, the victim dies. So the students didn't see the basilisk eye to eye, so they are just petrified. They saw his reflection actually, and Hermione saw it with a mirror. So Harry is able to know this. Then they also get to know that Moaning Martyr was the one who died when the chamber opened 50 years ago. And the entrance of the chamber is on that girl's bathroom. So Harry, Ron, and Glittery Lockhart. So they are also able to know that Glittery Lockhart is actually a fraud. He doesn't know any defense against dark arts. He's just a fraud. So the trio, but Harry and Ron urges Glittery Lockhart actually to go with them into the chamber. So they enter the chamber where Lockhart is very scared and he tries to run with Ron's broken wand, which actually backfires and he lost his memory. And Ron is blocked with lots of rocks and stones. So Harry moves forward and enters the chamber. Another thing happened, that Jenny, who was Ron's sister and future wife of Harry, but it is not written till yet, we don't know till yet. So Jenny is abducted and taken to the chambers. Alright, so she's taken to the chambers. So Harry then goes to the chamber, and there he sees that Jenny is there unconscious. And there he also meets Tom Riddle, who reveals himself to be Lord Voldemort and the Heir of Slytherin. From his mother's side actually, because his father was a Muggle student born. So after that, Harry fights the basilisk, but Harry gets some help from Fawkes. Fawkes is a phoenix of Dumbledore. So Dumbledore had a pet phoenix named Fawkes or something like that. I clearly don't remember. So he suddenly bursts out of nowhere and helps Harry, and he also brings the Shotting Hat, the hat who shot at students into the houses, and that Shotting Hat gives Harry the Sword of Godric Gryffindor. The Sword of Godric Gryffindor. And with that, Harry kills the basilisk, and then he destroys the Tom Riddle's diary, and Tom Riddle's also gets destroyed. Then Jenny wakes up. Harry, Jenny, along with Ron and Glittery Lockhart, who had already lost his memory. So they are then escaped the chamber. Then Harry goes to Dumbledore and gives him the diary and tells him all the story that happened. And Dumbledore is actually back for the position of headmaster after all these things have settled down. And Lucius Malfoy suddenly again burst out of nowhere because he's furious that Dumbledore returns. And he's accompanied by Dobby. So here we get to know that Dobby was the house elf of Malfoy family. So after that, Harry gets to know that Lucius Malfoy was the one who gave that Tom Riddle's diary to Jenny when they met into the bookstore. He actually put it into the Jenny's cauldron. So cauldron is a type of pot in which we make potions. So he secretly put that Tom Riddle's diary into Jenny's cauldron. Therefore, Jenny got abducted and all. Actually, Jenny opened the Chamber of Secrets in the first place. So after that, Harry tricks Lucius Malfoy into freeing Dobby. So there's a thing that a house elf can only be freed if his master gives or offers him a clothes. So what does Harry do? He secretly takes off his socks, that smelly socks, then put it inside the diary and gives it to Lucius Malfoy. So what does he do? He just passes it out to Dobby, and when Dobby opens the diary, he sees that there is a pair of socks, and he's surprised, and then he says, "Dobby is free!" So Dobby is free, and Lucius is very furious that Harry loses his servant. Like, he was actually the servant of Lucius now. So then he tries to attack Harry, but Dobby saves him. Then after that, Gryffindor again wins the House Cup because Harry saved Jenny and all that thing with the Chamber of Secrets. He helped everyone. So therefore, Dumbledore gives him lots of house points. So Gryffindor wins the House Cup. They pass the... And another thing, the exams are cancelled. So as a school treat, they cancel all the exams. So after that, everything... happy ending for this part. They return back to their home. Harry is again returned to the private drive to live with the Dursleys for the summer break. So here ends this part of Harry Potter. So after that, the next part is the Prisoner of Azkaban. I've already read it more than half. So a new review will be arriving soon of this part. Don't forget to miss. And that was all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. And also please share it with your family and friends. I will be back soon with other such amazing videos. Till then, bye. And as always, proud to be a Potterhead.